Hi guys, Dr. Berg here again. Listen, I want to talk about the absolute worst advice you could ever give a diabetic. Okay, ready for it? 5 small meals a day. Okay, that's the worst advice. In fact, I used to give this advice before I knew better because I was taught this way in school. But it is bad advice. So let's talk about why this is. It has to do with what most people are missing in their database of knowledge about diabetes. They might know that carbs will increase insulin, but a lot of times they do not know that eating in general, regardless of what you eat, will trigger insulin. Doesn't matter what you eat. Every time you eat or a snack, you spike insulin. Now, what is a diabetic? A diabetic is someone with too much insulin. Now, yes, if you're type 1 diabetic, which you're completely burnt out, you don't have any insulin. I'm talking about the vast majority of people who are diabetic type 2, and they have too much insulin, okay? And so what happens is they're insulin resistant, so they have to take metformin and other types of medications to make the insulin connect more. But if you check their fasting insulin level, it's always really, really, really high, okay? Now, look at this. Meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You spike insulin, you spike insulin. It's going to create way too much insulin. You're never going to ever fix diabetes. You're going to become a diabetic worse and worse if you keep doing this. So here, what do? You basically, we need to cut down the frequency of meals. This is not like starving the person. This is not even cutting calories for cutting calories. We want to decrease the meals. Why? So we have more time in between the meals to keep insulin low. When you don't eat, insulin goes lower and you could heal insulin. What you want to work up to, if you're a pre-diabetic or diabetic, is 2 meals a day. Ideally, it's going to take a while to do that, but it's the ideal scene if you want to improve your blood sugars, okay? So up to 2 meals, and then you have more time to heal. Now, how do you do this? How can you actually eat less and not be so darn hungry all the time? Well, you add a little more fat, healthy fat to the meal, okay? And that allows you to go longer without being starving. I'm not talking about low-fat protein and vegetables, that you have to add the fat in there to go longer. I'll put some links down below. But the other thing is that if you eat these small meals, you're spiking insulin. Insulin comes in there, lowers blood sugar, okay? Guess what? You're going to be hungry. You're going to spike insulin again for the next meal. It's going to lower blood sugar. Guess what? You're going to crave carbs. Same thing happens over and over and over. So if you can actually go longer, keep insulin low, you can heal a lot of issues, especially maybe even not even be a diabetic anymore. Okay? So I put some links down below, but this is the absolute worst advice for diabetics. So if you know a diabetic, have them watch this video and just apply this for a month and prove it to yourself. You'll be quite amazed with the results. Thanks for watching. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto and Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.